but you gotta be there for me too. But you gotta be there for me too.
Hi guys! So in today's video I'm going to be doing some DIY back to school lunch ideas for your American Girl dolls. I don't really know if you guys remember, but way back in January I did some DIY breakfast ideas for your dolls, and I was originally planning on making that a series on my channel where I did breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert. However, I never quite got around to continuing the series, and I figured why not bring it back, but back to school theme. And I thought that these DIYs were super cute. They're also really easy, and I didn't even need to go out and buy anything. I just used everything that I had at home. So I showed you guys how to make some DIY snack bags, DIY sandwich, and some DIY hot dogs. Make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and make sure you check out my giveaway. You can also send me mail to my P.O. box, and I'll have the address down below. So anyways, yeah, without further ado, let's get on into the video. First, I'm going to show you guys how to make these adorable little snack bags, and they are by far the easiest craft out of all three. So to make these, you're only going to be needing a couple different materials. So you're going to be needing some different colors of craft foam, some scissors, and some clear packing tape. So starting out with some orange foam, I decided to cut some thin strips to create carrots. And once you've cut as many as you would like, you can just set them aside. And then you're going to cut a strip of tape, and you're just going to lay that out, and you're going to take your carrots and you're going to stick them and place them however you would like, in whatever formation you would like, onto the tape. And once you're done, fold up the bottom of the tape and stick it down, press it nice and well, cut off the excess tape off the end, and there you have it. You have some carrots, and you're going to repeat that same process in green if you want to make some celery. So cut out as many as you'd like, stick them onto the tape, fold up the bottom, cut off the excess, and there you have some celery. And to make some chips, you're going to need some yellow craft foam. I unfortunately did not have any of that, so instead I took some white craft foam and painted it yellow, then just let it out to dry. Then you're going to cut some little circular oval shapes, and they don't have to be perfect. You know, the less perfect, the more realistic they look actually. And once you've cut out as many as you like, stick them down onto the tape, and then, you know, fold it up, cut off the excess, same process as before, and there you have your chips. And that's what they look like, and here are all the little snack bags together. I love how these turned out, and they're literally the most easiest things ever. Next, I'm going to show you how to make my most favorite DIY out of all of three of them, and it's these adorable little DIY hot dogs, and I love how realistic they look. So for this, you're going to be needing some clay, and you can buy clay in whatever color you would like, but I decided to just use white and tan, and then I just used some brown and red paint to paint the clay and the end, so we'll see how that works later. So taking your white clay, we're going to make our sausages, and I'd like to knead my clay before because I find it just makes it easier to work with. And you're going to roll out a nice little tube, cylinder, whatever you want to call it, whatever size you want, just as how big you want your hot dog to be. Then take your tan clay and knead it out as well, and we're also going to roll a cylinder, and you want it to be a little bit thicker than the sausage but the same height, so you can just kind of see what I'm doing there. Then you're going to take a cutting tool or just a knife, whatever you like, and you're going to cut that tan cylinder right down the middle, and you're going to split it in half so that the sausage can fit in between. So you might have to spread it out quite a lot in order for the white tube to fit in the middle. As you can see, I'm just kind of pressing it apart and doing whatever works. Then just take all your clay pieces and pop them into the oven and bake them according to the package instructions. And they came out of the oven, they looked really great, except the buns. They did kind of burn a little bit, but I think the color turned out pretty good anyway. But you know, they just happened to bronze up in the oven accidentally, so that kind of sucks, but it's fine. Since I did use white clay to make the hot dogs, I went ahead and painted them, and to make the perfect color, I mixed together brown and red paint. So you're just going to paint your little sausage, white tubes, whatever you want to call it, unless you happen to have clay that was the right color, but I didn't, so I just went with white, and then I'm just going to paint them in the end, and it turned out still really, really great. So I just painted them, and I later discovered that you only do need to paint one side of the sausage because the other half is going to be covered by the bun. So, you know, you only have to paint one side, which is great. So then they dried and I hot glued them onto the buns, and then I took some red and yellow paint, and I'm sure you can imagine what I'm using these for. And it's of course to paint ketchup and mustard on the hot dogs. And this is totally optional, you don't have to do it. But I just used a toothpick to paint kind of like a little squiggly line across the sausage, and I thought it looked really cute, you know. I did it in ketchup and mustard, and I really think I like the mustard a lot better, but you know, looks pretty cute, and those are how they turned out. And I did in the end glaze them off camera, and I just used clay glaze, but you can also just use white school glue to glaze them as well, and it'll turn clear. Last but not least, I'm going to show you how to make a sandwich. So to make it, you're only going to need a couple things. So you're just going to get some multicolored craft foam, some paint, and some glue, and you can use school glue or hot glue. So first things first, I'm going to start by cutting out the bread, but unfortunately I didn't have the right color of foam, so once again I decided to paint it. So I mixed together some brown and yellow paint, and then I just kept adjusting the color to my liking, and I ended up just painting that paint color onto some white craft foam like I did in the previous crafts, and then I just painted that on, like as you can see, and then I let that dry. And just to make it clear where I was going to cut, I took a black pen and just traced out the shape of the bread. And you can use whatever kind of shape you'd like. You know, you can do triangular, or you can just do a square, but I just chose this kind of shape, as you can see. Then I took my scissors and I cut those pieces out. Then I took some brown paint and I painted the edges or the sides of the foam to create a crust kind of color. And then while I was letting that dry, I went ahead and cut out the inside little toppings. So I used a green square of craft foam and I cut the edges kind of wavy, and it looks like lettuce. And then to make tomatoes, I just cut these random 2 little slices that have kind of 2 bumps on the top, as you can kind of see. And there are my toppings, the tomatoes and the lettuce. And then you're basically going to assemble your sandwich, and in between each layer you're just going to add some hot glue or school glue, whatever, just to glue everything together. And you know, here's the finished product. It looks pretty cute. And that's all for the sandwich. Super easy and simple, but I think it's kind of an essential to a school lunch. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you got this far in the video, thanks so much for watching it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you want me to continue this series, and subscribe down below and check out my giveaway. You can also send me some mail to my P.O. box, and I'll have the address down below. Really hope you guys enjoyed this first back to school video, and be on the lookout for some more back to school videos coming in the next couple weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!